On my show, we usually like to elevate, take things to levels they never should have gone, or definitely levels CJ never would attain. He's over there. So today I want to do something very, very simple. We're not going to play too much. Well, we're still going to play with our flavors just a little bit. I want to show you a game day appetizer that is sure to be a feast for your friends. We're going to do a Buffalo Bleu chicken salad slider. They're really simple. They're not complicated, and it's one of my favorite go-to game day dishes. Let me show you how to do it. Now the chicken is the only thing we actually have to cook, so I'm going to start with my chicken breasts. You can use chicken cutlets if you like. We're going to go very, very simple here, just salt and pepper. You know, you don't have to get so confusing on your seasonings. If you don't know what to add, salt and pepper lets the ingredients shine. So very, very simple, salt and pepper, that's all you need, both sides. Now I've been preheating my griddle to low. Let's crank that up medium. You can go medium high if you want, depending on how big your chicken breasts are. You don't want to be too hot, because if you go too fast and furious on a big, thick chicken breast, it's going to be overcooked. It'll be undercooked. The outside will be overcooked. Don't do it. That's what I'm trying to say. So we're going to take our chicken on medium high heat. Oh wait, I need some oil. I got ahead of myself. See? I started mentioning CJ Frazier. Start making mistakes. He's over there. Can't talk. How you doing, buddy? So I'm gonna take my chicken and we're gonna go right down into that oil. Now again, you don't wanna go too fast and furious. We want our chicken to cook nice and evenly so we get it nice and juicy. Gonna give those 4 or 5 minutes or so. We just want them to be fully cooked. Let's talk about the rest of our ingredients because it's very, very simple. Take a bowl, everything's gonna pretty much go in the bowl. I do wanna start with my wet ingredients first. So I've got some Duke's mayonnaise. Think of this kind of like a vinaigrette of sorts. I am not a huge mayonnaise base fan. I do like mayonnaise in my chicken salad, but I don't want it to be the only thing that I have. Although Duke's is amazing, I'm gonna add some other stuff to it. This whole grain mustard, or stone ground mustard, is crazy good. I got my spoon all dirty. Check out all these beautiful pearls. CJ, can you get a close to that? These pearls are gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. They kind of pop, a little pop of flavor as well. And I want that vinegar punch. So I'm gonna go with some of that. I'm also gonna add just a touch of garlic powder and onion powder. Now I'm not using fresh garlic or fresh onion for the flavor here. I want the texture, which is why I'm using the powder. I'm also gonna add some dill relish. You could use sweet if you want to, but I love that flavor of dill. It's gonna give us a nice little punch. There we go, that looks good. All right, now we're gonna mix this as is for now. We're gonna add some other fun stuff to it later. I don't know if you noticed, but we haven't gotten into buffalo or blue cheese or ranch. Didn't mention that earlier, but we're gonna do some ranch too. That's okay. This is kind of where we wanna sit just for a minute. Now, when you mix all this up, this is essentially where you could stop and you would be fantastic, but we do wanna take this into buffalo territory. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for buffalo. Let's check on our chicken real quick, see how we're doing. Yeah, I want a little bit more color here. I want to get some texture as well. One of the things I love about doing my chicken salad this way is I get the advantage of having juicy, delicious chicken, but I also get to have that texture. If you boil your chicken or if you roast your chicken, that's great, that's fine. I'm sure your chicken salad is fantastic, but doing it this way gives us that sear, it gives us that Maillard, so we have a new texture, a new consistency to add to our chicken salad. So in about 5 minutes, 6, 7, maybe 8 minutes, these chicken breasts are kind of big, we'll be finished and we'll get back to adding it to our sauce. If you've made chicken salad in the past, you know that texture is everything. So when we flip these, you get to see that gorgeous, stunning texture, all the words you guys love to hear me say. And also don't be afraid to flip it multiple times throughout the cook. Now when we're 95% done, we're gonna come back over to our cutting board and get back to some of our other garnish. Now, celery for me is a absolute game changer for, it's a must for buffalo. I am that guy that wants just tons and tons of celery and I'm dipping it like crazy. So I'm gonna take a couple of spears of celery. Let's see how much this looks like. Now what I like to do is take off the unsightly ends, if they are unsightly. Get rid of those, don't need them. And I take these in long strips and we're gonna do a nice small dice on these. The reason I like a small dice is so that what we get is a tiny bite-sized piece of celery that gives us the crunch and the flavor, but it's not overpowering. Perfect, now let's add this to our bowl with our little mayo mustard action. I want to do the same thing with a bit of sweet onion. I don't know if you noticed, but I use sweet onion a lot. It is by far my favorite onion to use. Get over here, little guys. By far my favorite onion to use, mostly because of that sweetness and the texture. So I'm going to take basically the exact same shape as my celery, get off any of the unsightly ends, make sure it's peeled, and we're going to do thin, little, tiny mince, a little bigger than a mince. We're going to do a small dice of the onion as well and add that to our bowl. The onion and the celery are both going to give us a nice little crunch, texture, and flavor is the way to go. Like that. Now you might be thinking there's not quite enough sauce for a chicken salad, but that's where our ranch and our buffalo sauce is going to come in. So let's give this a nice little mix and we will check on our chicken. Oh, it looks awesome. It looks so awesome. Now typically when you see a chicken salad, sometimes it just looks like this. It's just opaque, doesn't have a lot of character, a lot of texture, a lot of color. So what I want to do is add it, and let's check on our chicken and I'll show you where that comes into play. These are looking really, really great. Oh yeah. That texture is what we're looking for, that little bit of crunch. You know what, let's go ahead and take our knife. Let's cut one of these right down the center. Make sure we're fully cooked. See how juicy we did. Oh, come on. Juicy, gorgeous chicken. Now, if you were gonna do chicken cutlets, you're not gonna have the same amount of juiciness just because it's a thinner piece. So if you wanna go over, I'm gonna bring these back to my cutting board. If you want to go onto the more juicy side, then use a chicken breast, but the smaller the better, so it doesn't take forever. This one looks pretty thick. I'm excited. I'm gonna cut this one open. Let's just make sure. This one's a good bit thicker than the other two. Don't be afraid to cut on your griddle top either. Oh, look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Let's bring these all over. Now we're gonna do a small dice. Now think about when you're serving these on a slider, it's not a full chicken sandwich because we're dicing all of this up. So we want it to be nice tiny pieces. So let's start with this one. We're gonna cut these up, I wouldn't say as small as possible, but pretty small so that it all mixes up evenly. By all means, you could do it old fashioned, you can boil your chicken and that's fine. But I mean, look at this. Look, we have the texture, we have the color, all of this. Beauty. All right, let's take our bowl off to the side. You guys know this trick? Slide your cutting board back just a little bit. We'll grab our bowl. We can slide all of our chicken right down into our bowl. Man, probably should have had a bigger bowl. That's looking good. No, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. All right, here's the fun part. And this is something you can definitely do ahead of time. We are gonna be serving this cold, so if you wanted to do this the day before you have a party, then do that. Keep it in the refrigerator. Let's clean up our cutting board just a little bit here. And we're gonna give this a mix. And what we want is everything to be coated evenly so we can adjust how much sauce and coating we have on our chicken. So give that a nice toss. Yeah, we're gonna need a good bit of ranch and buffalo. Now the base of this is that mayo, that mustard, that punch. We have a good bit of vinegary punch in there from the mustard, which is good. All right, now is where the buffalo part comes in. I'm gonna start with ranch because I am a sucker for ranch. I'm gonna start with a decent amount of ranch, just like that. Then we're gonna go with a bit of our buffalo sauce. I like Frank's, but use any buffalo sauce that you like. Beauty. Add as much or as little as you like, but remember, you can always add more. You can't take it out once it's added. So we'll go a little less is more. Now I do have blue cheese to go, but I don't wanna add it yet because I don't wanna break it up too much. I'm gonna get this flavor, texture, consistency right before I start adding my last ingredients. Oh, it smells so good. I'm a sucker for buffalo. I'm sure most of you guys are. That looks good. All right, hang on. We're gonna give this a 1-2. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, know what it needs? A little bit more buffalo. Just a little bit more buffalo. Beauty. And I'm gonna hit this with just a touch of salt and pepper as well. Now we didn't get any salt and pepper seasoning on the inside of our chicken, so now that we cut it, we can go ahead and hit a touch more. And pepper. I know a lot of you ask for recipes all the time, but recipes change. I mean, your taste changes, sorry. Your taste changes each time you make a recipe. I'd rather you all be learning technique than following a written recipe. With that being said, I'll do better at putting my written recipes in the description below. All right, that looks good. All right, last little bit, what do we need to do here? Our garnish. Oh wait, no, our blue cheese. I did mention it, and I forgot. We're gonna add a bit of blue cheese crumbles, just like this. Now you know me, I love the sweets and the savories that play on flavor. So here's my secret weapon. It's dried cranberries. These add a ton of sweetness, and it really pairs nicely with the heat of the buffalo sauce and the saltiness of the chicken. Now we don't want to overmix here, so we're nice and light so we don't break up the blue cheese too much. And now we're looking like a wicked, beautiful chicken salad. That's what I'm talking about. All right, I like where we are. I like where we are. Let's get to our last little bit of garnish. I'm gonna move this completely off the cutting board. Oh, this little guy got away. You coming home? It's so good. You just eat that with a fork, just how it is. So, so good. I'm gonna grab some romaine lettuce, take the very tips off, and we're gonna do a nice fine shred. This is gonna give us a little base for our little sandwiches, our little sliders. Go all the way to the whites and then toss them together so we get the crunch and the color. The crunch and the color, say that 5 times, evenly distributed. All right, scoot this off to the side. We're also gonna slice some tomatoes, fairly thin. I'm using plum tomatoes, just I like the shape and the size. You don't want your tomato to be too thick. Otherwise, just a big giant bit of tomato. Now let's clean, I'm gonna plate right here on my cutting board. So let's get rid of some of that beautiful tomato juice. And let's talk about our buns. Today I'm using Martin's potato rolls. I think a soft bun is the way to go. You could toast these if you wanted to, but you don't have to. And if you're serving these right away, you don't have to. If you're gonna like set them out for a little while, I would probably toast them. Come on, little guys. But a soft bun is definitely where you wanna go. Let's make 4 of these. 4 sounds good. Now we're gonna split these open. And we're gonna start down at the bottom with our lettuce. Then we're gonna put our tomato right over the top, and then that gorgeous chicken salad. Look at that, it's insane. It's so, so good. Maybe you should make a double batch because you're definitely gonna wanna eat a bunch of these. You're kinda not doing it right if you're not getting messy, and that's okay. That's okay. That's what game day food's all about. Oh yeah, I could eat at least 4 of these. So good. The crunch of the celery and the onions, and we also have the fresh crunch of the lettuce. So good, a little sweetness from the tomato. Heat from the beautiful buffalo sauce. Buffalo chicken salad sliders, that's the way to go. Thank you so much for hanging out. I love recipes like this. They're quick, they're simple, they're really, really fun to do. You could do it the night before, save yourself a ton of time on game day, but play with those flavors, mix those sweets and those savories. I hope you guys love this one as much as I do, but I gotta go because I've got lots more of this to eat. I'll see you guys in the next video.